Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will try to build a very simple basic client. So let's get started. Now friends, in order to save some time, I have already created this project into Eclipse, and this project will simply display hello world, right? So very simple basic application. Now friends, whenever we deal with client, we want a API where we can request for resources. We are building client, right? So for example, I open up Google Chrome, and inside our Google Chrome we have this REST client, right? Postman REST client. What exactly is this particular piece of software? This is nothing but a client in the form of Chrome extension, and this client help us to request RESTful API. Now we won't make use of Postman, rather we will do the same thing. We will request some API using our own client. We will build a client similar to this. Alright, so this is interesting. Now in order to test our client, we firstly need a API. Now again, if I open Eclipse, in here we have created couple of APIs in our previous videos, and one of the videos where we have discussed about HATOS is already loaded in Eclipse. So in here we have this project already in Eclipse. So let us run this, and we will use the URL for this API for our testing purpose. Now friends, before running this application, there is a small little thing. The context path setting is very important. So if we check the property of the application and check the web project setting, there is the setting of context path. Let me show you. Right click, navigate to properties, and in here we have this particular setting, web project setting, where we have context path. Now this context root will have a impact on the URL, so take a note of it. So the current context root is REST app. Let me run this application now. Take a note of it. We need to run this application, which is HATOS get links from resources, along with the building client introduction project which we are working on. So both the project needs to be added. As a result, in here we need to do something special in here. I will show you how we will deal with this in a minute. First of all, let me run this application and let me show you the URL which we will test as of now. Alright, the application is up and running, and I need to also show you a couple of more things. In here, if I check this application, there would be a couple of things. For example, in here, if I show you the resources, here is the resource, and for a specific brand ID, we will get the entire information from here. So it is interesting. And let me also show you the database where we have the data related to brand and showroom and ID. So let me quickly open up Workbench. Now friends, this particular application we have already built. So if you don't have this code, download the project file, set things up, check out our previous videos, and you will get to know how exactly this application is running. And it is taking some time to open up Workbench. Let me open up and show you the database, which is showroom. Let me show you the contents. So here are the contents. There are two brands with ID 3 and 6 and brand name as TVS and Bajaj. Very simple, easy to understand. Alright, so now let us navigate. Here is the URL of our application, and here this particular part is our context root. So first of all, copy this URL, and in your case the context root may differ, so take a note of it. Now let us navigate to Postman. In here I will paste the URL, and then we need to get this path, which is /showroom/brands, and then we will also add the brand ID. So it would be like this, /showroom/brands/3 for example, and we should get a proper result. Alright, so here is the response. Perfect. So as of now, we simply need this URL, nothing else. Let me minimize this. And now moving forward to our application, let me close all of it. We need nothing now. We have the URL. And now let us open up the application, which is building client. Let me open up app.java file. Let me expand this. So as of now, we will get rid of this return. And in here, let us create a client. So it is like client equals client builder dot new client. So by taking help of this object client, we can in fact now start requesting to a specific API. Before that, let me also import the required package. Alright, so this client will help us to make a request. How it will help us? Very simple. It would be like client dot target. Now in here there are a couple of versions of target. We will simply pass on a string. What is this target? Target is nothing but your URL. So it would be this URL where we have deployed the API. And now finally we will make a request, and the request would be a get request, right? As a result, for every request type, for every method, we have methods in here. And for get, we have get method. So we will make use of get. And this will bring us a response. This particular method will bring us a response, right? So what we are doing, we are simply requesting to this URL, and we are requesting by taking help of get method. Very cool, nice. And this particular method will return a response. So we will take help of response, and there are like multiple type of responses, and we want the response from javax.ws.rs.core, and we will give the name as response equals client.target. Alright, so now we have the response, and indeed we can print the response directly on the console. So it could be like return response dot toString, and our work is done. In fact, definitely the response won't be very human readable, but as of now it is good enough. Let me run this application. Now here comes the trick. We need to run both of these applications at the same time on Tomcat. So we need to deploy these two applications, which is building client and HATOS get links from response. So let me do that. I will run this application on the server. Here we go. So when we have this console, we also have this next button. Click on the next button and try to deploy the applications which we need. So in here there are 4 applications which are configured. We don't want 4, we only want 2, which is this one, HATOS get links from resource and building client. Now we will deploy both of these application on Tomcat, and most probably we will get a proper output out of it. Alright, the application is up and running. Let us navigate to JAX-RS app URL, the API URL. So it would be like JAX-RS/app, and we should get a response out of it. It will take some time. Let me also expand this. In the background, the processing is ongoing because we are connecting with the database, and here is the response. Perfect. Let me expand this a little. Alright, and here is the response. Perfect. So we are getting the response. This is nice. This is amazing. And in our next video, we will proceed further, and we will try to extract some useful information out of this response. Alright, so indeed we are successful in building our first client, which is nice, good, congratulations. And from our next video, we will explore more when it comes to building a client using JAX-RS. Alright, so this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.